نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي رب زدني علما رب زدني علما رب زدني علما سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. Brothers, yesterday I mentioned reading about the life stories of our Asatidha and Buzurgs, and what we find in them stories, how they live their stories, how they live their life, and the stories and the legacies they left behind for us to follow. As you remember, I mentioned that reading the stories of our Hazrat Rahmatullahi alayhi from the book, The Golden Legacy of Hazrat Mawlana Ismail Rahmatullahi alayhi. Now, when we remember them and when we read about them and when we start following how they live their lives, and when we do Isale Sawab, i.e. make dua for them, and when we pray anything, i.e. Quran or any Durood Sharif or any Adhkar, and we send our rewards to them, i.e. normally when we do dhikr every day, after Durood Sharif and Qul Huwallah, we make intention that send the reward of our dhikr to all the sheikhs, all the way to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So similarly, when we read about their stories and when we send any reward to them, they find out the angels present our rewards to them. So yesterday we read from the book and I mentioned make dua for them and listen to their stories. And look at the acceptance I want to mention to you, the acceptance of this majlis, and acceptance of our dua, and acceptance of our remembering that I saw Hazrat Rahmatullahi alayhi in my dream yesterday night. And how? Because we remembered him and we sent the reward to him of our dhikr and our majlis. So Allah presented this sinner to Hazrat Rahmatullahi alayhi in my dream yesterday night, and we were going somewhere, we were traveling, and we came across some Mawlana, we shook hands. Then Hazrat Rahmatullahi alayhi says to me that that was Hazrat Thanvi Rahmatullahi alayhi. This is acceptance. You don't look no further. I mentioned to you what I mentioned to you yesterday, and I mentioned to you the dream I saw yesterday night, and I'm presenting to you the dream exactly the way it's written. Then we were traveling, we were on a journey somewhere, and we were assisting each other with some shopping he had in his hand in a white carrier bag. This is how the dream went on, and that's how I woke up. This is yesterday night I saw this Hazrat. And not only this time, many a times when we have been present in our normal Thursday night majlis, other Mawlana also mentioned that after the majlis they remembered Hazrat Rahmatullahi alayhi, they did Isale Sawab to Hazrat Rahmatullahi alayhi. Same night they saw Hazrat Rahmatullahi alayhi, and Hazrat was waiting for them, open his arms to that person, to that Mawlana, and Hazrat hugged him, and that Mawlana kissed him. That has happened many times. Many times. It happened to me as well. That Hazrat, I saw Hazrat after the majlis, I saw him in my dream, and Hazrat is opening his arms to me, and I am hugging him, and I am kissing him. And once we were in a majlis together, same thing. So our amal are presented to him, and when they see us doing good things and following their footsteps, they become happy. They become happy and they make dua for us. And what better can we ask for? When they make dua for us, they were our elders. They were our elders. He is not with us, so Mawlana Ismail Sahib is here. Take benefit from him when he comes. Listen to his speeches. Meet him. Any advice you want, take his advice. And not only many other scholars. We have Mawlana Abdul Rauf Sahib. We have many other Buzuks. We have Mawlana Salim Durat Sahib in Leicester. So these are the saints, the awliya of Allah. So when we sit in the gathering of awliya Allah, when we listen to their advice, when we follow what they are saying, not only Allah and Rasul is happy, they are also happy. So we become more close. And the faiz and the barakat which they have possessed by following Allah's Rasul's messages, then Allah grants them ruhaniyat, nurayaniyat in their hearts, and they become powerhouses of nur. So when we go to their gathering, we benefit from them. The nur they possess, we benefit from them. Just like when we present our salam to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he says wa alaikum salam. His dua is with us. His dua is maghfirah with us. What does that mean? That means benefit. Benefit from him as well. I remember I read once about Durud Sharif that Mawlana Umar Pulpuri, he was mentioning, when you pray Durud Sharif, make dua to Allah Ta'ala that the barakah and the rahmah which Allah sends on Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam qalbi athar, send some drops to us as well, so that we may gain the rahmah which comes on Rasulullah. So, moving forward, what we do, we follow Allah and Rasul and the footsteps shown by our Akabis, our Asatisa. And inshallah, it will benefit us. And one more thing I want to really mention, that Isali Thawab. What is Isali Thawab? That when we pray Quran, when we pray Adhkar, when we pray Durud Sharif, any form of nafal Adhkar we do, we send them reward. And no reward will decrease from us. No. We will get our full reward. And they will also get their reward. They will also get the reward what we are sending them. And what will happen in return? They will be notified that so and so had sent you reward from the Quran, from the Durud Sharif, from any nafal namaz we do, we can send reward. Nafal ibadat, yes. Any form of nafal ibadat we do, we can send them reward. And to make it clarify, make it easy to understand, if you have short time, you can make intention of all the Muslims ever lived from Adam al-Islam, send my reward to them. Allah will send your rewards to all of them. All. And if you have time, break it down. You can also break it down. Send my reward to all the prophets. Send my rewards to all the Sahaba. Send my rewards to all the Anbiya alayhim salam, Siddiqeen, Shuhada, Salihin, the pious people. Send my reward to all my Asatidha who I'm studied with and from, all the way to the Rasulullah. And not only that, Sahaba Kiram, because we all listen to their stories. They sacrifice everything for Allah and Rasul. They sacrifice everything. On one side, Rasulullah, on the other side, they did immediately how he said it. So we owe them. They never cared for themselves, but they cared for Allah and Rasul, what he said, follow them immediately, and they through them ilm has come to us. And through the A'immah and ulama and the muhaddithin and the fuqaha, the ilm has come to us in every form. So we have chains of asatida, chains of hadith, chains of ilm in every subject you can think of from Rasulullah. So you make intention, Allah send them all of them rewards, so that their attention comes to us. They become happy. No, I said this hadith and so, in now 1,000 years after, so is remembering me. You can do in individual du'as, individual isal swab, you can do the whole tree of chain of Ustaz as well. I'm going to give you one example. And not only that, also our grandfathers, grandparents who accepted Islam. We don't know what way they went through. Nowadays we all see when people revert to Islam, what hardship they go through with their families. Yes? So imagine whoever accepted Islam in the first place, we don't know how far our tree of Islam goes. So once I made intention in Darul, this is a few years ago, that Allah send the reward of my Quran recitation to all my great grandparents, to the first who accepted Islam. Yes? And look at Hazrat. Allah gave this kayfiyat of kashf. The day after Hazrat goes, or the same day evening, Hazrat goes to the majlis, everybody in the majlis, make this intention that Allah send my reward to all my greatest grandparents, all the way to the first who accepted Islam. This is not acceptance, of course. So we make firm intention, any nafal ibadat, any form of dhikr we do, send reward to them. And not only that, follow the footsteps, how they shown us. Follow the sunnah, follow the sahaba footsteps, follow the akabir footsteps, how they live their life. And read their stories. Read their stories. You sometimes find mashayikh who gave up their kingdom, gave up their complete kingdom to serve Allah, to remember Allah. They devoted themselves for Allah and Rasul and the Deen to spread that, so that Deen comes to us. And we have to understand how much have we done for the sake of Deen. How much? We have to ask ourselves, what have I done to devote myself for the sake of to learn Deen and to spread the Deen? We have to ask ourselves. Only we know better. And true acceptance is serving the Deen, serving Allah. When you serve Allah, Allah puts barakah in your life. Allah puts barakah in your house. We have to serve the Deen of Allah. If we don't act ourselves, if we don't follow the footsteps of Rasulullah and Rasul, and if we don't convey the message to others, we are selfish. We lived our own life. Like, you go to school, come back home, go to work, come back home, and whatever we do in our house and work and that's it, and family, and close the door. That's not life. Look at our Asatiza. They devote their whole life, entire life. Look at our Hazrat Rahmatullah alayhi. Look at the Shaykh Nawarullah min Qadahu. He used to travel all over the world. Our Hazrat traveled all over the world. World Union, South Africa, Canada, America, India, Pakistan. What for what? To serve humanity. He sacrificed his life in India to come here upon the order of Hazrat Shaykh Rahmatullah alayhi, so that he can serve Deen. That's how the Alum was formed. He could have easily gone back. Hazrat Shaykh said, no, you stay in England, Allah will take the work of Deen from you. And that's how he formed the Alum. That's how knowledge has come to us. Those we sacrifice. And when we read his stories, we will understand how much sacrifice he did, day and night. Himself, his family, everybody, for the Alum, so that ilm can come to us. And so did Hazrat Shaykh Rahmatullah alayhi. He traveled the whole world. He could not travel to England. That week he was. But he still came. He laid his footsteps in England twice. And because of his barakah, his tawajjuh on the Alum, his tawajjuh on our Hazrat, look at the barakat. I'm going to give you one example, just one example. Look at Hazrat Shaykh's kitab, Tabligh Nisab, Fazail Amal. It's everywhere in the world. Look at the acceptance Allah gave him, because his sacrifice is wanting to spread the deen of Allah to us. Look, anywhere you go in the world, how many languages it has been translated into? How many? You go anywhere in the world, you will find it. I remember I went to, 27 years ago to Japan. I found the Tabligh Nisab there. This is 27 years ago. And it was probably there long before I went as well. The brothers who initially went to that country, or anywhere you go in the world, you will find. Why? How? This acceptance from Allah. And how this acceptance comes to us from Allah? By devoting ourselves to practice the deen, to practice the elders, how they show in the life we should live, and then forward it to us. Inshallah, Allah give us tawfiq. Inshallah.